The head of IT opened an email with the "I love you" virus, which then got sent to everyone in the company. Many people, including senior staff, opened that email, which sent the whole system into meltdown. Once it was sorted, the head of IT sent an email saying it was a sackable offense to open the "I love you" email. Used to work at a hospital that had more than one building, which meant in order to pick up laundry, we had to go round in Luton vans. And one year we got a new one which was taller than the usual ones, and were told not to drive it up to the doors at a specific ward as the canopy over the doors was too low for it, and would thus damage the new van. Didn't have the new van 2 days, and a supervisor was booting the assay out of it as his department was busy and proceeded to jam it under the canopy. The thing is, if he'd kept driving it instead of braking, he'd have came out the other side of it. He was that far under. The van was stuck there for about 4 hours with the manager flapping cause it wouldn't move forward or back any, and cause I didn't have my license at the time. He didn't listen to me when told him to let some air out the tires to get it out, then re-inflate them once outside. Another department had an air compressor. I worked for the council tax, many years ago, and a couple stick out into my mind. The guy who replied to a complaint with the response envelope addressed to, and I'm giving away where I worked here, Mr. Joe Bloggs, 1 Smith Street, Dudley, West Midlands, England, United Kingdom, Europe, the Earth, the Solar System, the Milky Way, the Universe. Unsurprisingly, it made the local newspaper. The other was a team leader, older than most, but old enough to know better when there were interviews happening. Said to the lead interviewer, who was the head of human resources no less, and in front of many staff, "Just make sure I don't get any Pacus, coons, or women." I've put that down as he said it, as much as I hate spelling those words out. Still sickens me thinking about it. He was gobsmacked with the backlash and tried to fight through the union to no avail when he was forced into early retirement. 90s were wild in offices. The women were way worse than the men. Worked in a jeweler's. My boss insisted that the codes to the safe were left as the factory default. 1,234,567 inches, even after everyone told him it was stupid. His logic, nobody is gonna reasonably think it's that. Well, guess what happened when someone broke in? We had someone who cleaned out the kettle in the office with whatever the cleaning product was in, left it over the weekend, and then someone came in and made their morning drink with it and fell ill. We weren't allowed kettles after that. I used to work in an Italian restaurant. We would sometimes be asked to keep things in back for customers, egg a gift, balloons, or flowers. One time, my new manager was asked to put aside a gorgeous bouquet of surprise flowers for a couple celebrating their anniversary. She put them in the freezer instead of the cooler. Needless to say, it looked like ass and the petals were all dropping off. Me and another waitress were dispatched to go and buy as many flowers as we could, and I remade the bouquet, thanks 27-hour florist shift I did one time. Manager obviously did confess her fuck up, and the couple were magnanimous. She wasn't stupid, just busy and had a brain fart. How do I not have a million answers? Is it because the other UK warehouse is such a bunch of useless clowns that their fuck-ups all blend into one big fuck-up? I'll go with the time that some chap from one of the big monster hotels in Las Vegas that we service. We are an events company owned by an international conglomerate that is based in the USA, emailed our warehouse in the Midlands, in the UK, and asked us when the truck would arrive because he really needs the equipment today. Perez, I presume the kit did not arrive on time. It was late in the afternoon on Friday, no trucks were scheduled to dispatch that day, and it's about 8,300 kilometers away as the crow flies. Worked for an outdoor ed company, but as the maintenance team leader. Things that make sense for activities department didn't make sense for anyone else, but it still go pushed, with threats of PIPs, etc., had to do a certain amount of time of observations on staff. This meant standing near them, making sure they're following H+S, company policies, and loads of shite stuff. These all went towards their end-of-season review and re-employment for the next season. Fine when they're doing plumbing, electrics, driving machinery, or using scaff towers. But at certain times of year, they can spend weeks clearing leaves, clearing snow, or even just emptying. Absolute madness, and I didn't completely take the piss and submit about 1,500% of the required obs for each of my 5 staff because we generally worked in pairs. I asked my apprentice to vacuum the shop once. He did that fine with Henry dutifully following him around. When he'd finished, I asked him to do the skirting boards and corners. Now, obviously, Henry's flathead wouldn't reach those parts properly, so he took it off. He then removed the rigid tube from the flexi tube and wandered around with just that, aiming it at the corners. Henry was sitting there sucking away with nothing but a flexi hose flapping around. I watched for a good few minutes until the poor lad realized his mistake. For us, on Teams, it's thumbs or hearts, if you work with the person frequently. But when we get to official comms like emails, pretty much has to be AL-generated professional style, hope you are well, every time, and if it's going out to a group, it has to be formatted with logos, etc. Always going to be one who complains, up to management to decide how relaxed informal chats are. No thumbs seems a bit harsh here, IMO.